Hey YouTube, it's Zia. Um, as most of you know, for those who've been keeping up with basketball, there has been this fight, not real fight, but there's been like this struggle of power between the Spurs and Stern. Really, it's Popovich and Stern, but the Spurs have to foot the bill. And basically, what happened is that Popovich sent Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, and I believe Danny Green home. Popovich had a big problem with this because he felt as if, from what he said, is that fans are being robbed of good basketball, whatever like that. He apologized, and serious sanctions were taken on the Spurs, which was a $250,000 fine, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is ridiculous for several reasons, and this actually proves some negative things about the league. The reason it's ridiculous is because Popovich has been doing this since the 2010-2011 season, I believe. And when he first started doing it, he was praised because of it. He was praised for handling his starters' minutes much better and this leaving them, causing them to play revitalized basketball. So he's been doing this for a while. But he was never fined for it. The team was never fined. But since it's against the Heat, a marquee playing team, two teams playing against each other, whatever like that, he's fined for it. But the other reason it's ridiculous, besides the fact that Pop was already doing it, is because the Spurs were playing 4 games in 5 nights. The Heat had like about 5 6 days worth of rest against this team that was playing this grueling schedule. Not to say that other teams don't have this schedule, but that after playing the schedule, they then have to face one of the top teams in the league, and fans expect this high caliber ball. No, they're tired. Okay, they're tired. There's no other way to say that. What can you expect out of that game besides he crushing the Spurs? And I don't really believe that would happen. But Pop is just like, I have bigger fish to fry. I want to rest my team for 2 days for a conference and divisional rival, then rest them for one day. Because people like they could have rested them against the Magic and the Wizards, and it's just like, yeah, they could have rested him, but it really negates the purpose of him resting his team for the Grizzlies, who actually matter. The Heat are a non-conference team. They only matter if they face up in the finals. Just let's just be honest. The game between them versus all players starters is basically a bragging right thing, and who's the best team in the league. That's really what it is. So it was because it was against the Heat, and that's why Stern was so upset about it. And the fans who are upset about it are being hypocrites, or most of them at least, because I've heard most fans from various teams say they don't watch the Spurs because they're boring. And so for them to get upset because 4 of the starters were sent home, you weren't robbed of anything because you barely watched them anyway. You don't go to every game and you don't watch every game they play. So the one game you do watch and you're upset that they're not playing, so what? They shouldn't get any money taken out of their checks because they didn't play. They were resting for work-related reasons, and this is probably completely different, but when you go see a bad movie of an actor, they don't get money taken out their check. You just saw a bad movie. So just because this player didn't play, maybe this actor was working, but my point is, they shouldn't get money taken out of their check because they were resting for work-related reasons. And it's your problem if you have an issue with how much they're being played. Maybe you shouldn't be going to games and supporting the NBA if you have a problem with their paychecks. So the reason they're being set is because of injury and health related reasons. Tracy McGrady had played through some injuries he shouldn't have, and that is why he doesn't have much of a career now. That is why he's playing in China, which he admitted to himself. He said he should have rested when he played instead, and his body got worse because of it. So Pop is trying to manage the player's health Yeah, I said that right. And prevent injuries. I don't really see the problem with that. And another thing is that this proves that it's a players' league. That people don't come to watch basketball. Like, yes, they come to watch basketball, but they don't really come to watch basketball. They come to watch stars. And all these are professional players. These are the best players in the world. Okay, for the most part. And they play better than players on the street, most of them. Because there's some good players who haven't been drafted, you know. But my point is that when you see a team play in the NBA, that's because they deserve to be there for the most part. So why do people have a problem seeing non-star superstar players play? But it proves it's a players league in a bad way because it also proves that the league is rigged, and this is why. If you notice, you watch these games and you don't see player superstars get called for the same things as regular players. Like, it's very rare to get, like, superstars get fouls and stuff, but they foul way more than they get called for. They get calls that they didn't get fouled for. They flop and they don't get fined for it. Now that the fine rule has taken effect, like, these superstars aren't treated the same, and that's because people want to watch them play. They don't want to watch a superstar get fouled out, and even commentators don't want to watch a superstar get fouled out. So these fans just come for the superstars, and that's why the league. That's why I feel like officials extend series and make bad calls because it's about getting revenue off of these casual fans who want to see the superstars play. And that's just like that's terrible. That really bastardizes the game. It's just, oh, I just want to see a superstar play. I will watch just about any team play if they play good basketball. Like I normally watch the Bulls, but I can watch the Bulls without Rose and enjoy the game because it's still a good game to me. They may not be flashy, but it's still a good game. I still enjoy plays and how they play defense. I enjoy that, but not your casual NBA fan. They just want to see a superstar play, and that's why you have all these bandwagon fans for Miami. Because how you go from 15 in the league after winning a championship in 2006 to fifth in the league when LeBron comes? That's because they want to see superstars. That's what it's all about. And I understand the casual fans, you know, are why the business is so successful. But at the same time, it's just like the league shouldn't just do everything to accommodate the fans. Like, have some integrity, have some, some pride. Just don't just bend over and take it. Just don't do it like that. But yeah, to me, it's I don't understand why people care so much about Pop sitting his players when he's always done it. He's sitting them early because it's just like long. He's thinking long term. And Shaq said it best. Pop is playing chess while everyone is playing checkers. And people want to say, well, where had this resting got him in the last few years? Well, last year he was in the Western Conference Finals, which is a lot further than 26 other teams. So, yeah, that's where it got him. And it may not be the finals, but that's a lot further than most other teams and probably the team that you're rooting for. It's further than my team that I root for. So I can't even hate on that strategy. But it's a lot of hypocrites. It's Stern. I don't even know what to say about him because he's going to get mad because four players sat out, but he's not saying anything about tanking. He's not saying anything when other players are sat for games. It's just it's foolishness, and it's hard to enjoy the game this way because people like you would want superstars on your team like I have one, and that's Derrick Rose. I'm fine with the one I have. I don't need a team filled with superstars. I don't need it. I don't even want it. I enjoy watching other players play, average, above average. I enjoy watching that. I want some solid players on the team, yeah, but I don't need a team filled with superstars. Like when people say, "Who would you trade to get Dwight Howard on your team?" Well, I wouldn't trade no one. It would be nice to have Dwight Howard if he came as a free agent, but I'm not trading people to get him. you know. So people think that everyone is obsessed with superstars, but I think it's really casual fans. and maybe some fans were very desperate for their team to have a ring. But other than that, I think most NBA fans just want solid players on their team who can help contribute to a championship, and maybe one superstar. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't see basketball in that way because I enjoy basketball as it is without players getting all these unnecessary calls. Like, and I don't know. And someone said that Stern has something against the Spurs, which I do believe. And but I would say that Derrick Rose is a superstar who doesn't get treated like other superstars. And that's not to say I want him to necessarily get treated like that, but he doesn't get called for all the fouls that he really does get. So, but that's another video, which a lot of people get upset about when I say Rose doesn't flop because he doesn't.